Hello again. Mercury Retrograde. Yeah, I know those weren't the first two words you were expecting. For those of you who know what those words mean, you're either clapping your hand to your head or you're rolling your eyes back up within said head. For the others who don't know what I mean by that term, you could Google it, you could wiki it, you could probably go and see your local astrologer and ask about it. And no, I don't want to veer into the realms of the completely flaky today, but at the same time, there's something to be said for the supposed, rumored, legendary effect of the tiny planet that orbits the sun in 88 days. Why am I bringing this up now? Well, we are coming to the end of one of the quarterly retrograde periods when Mercury, that little red planet, is moving away from us and around the other side of the sun, and then it appears to stop, and then it starts moving back towards us. From what I've read and heard, tomorrow is the last day of stasis after like a 22-day, 3-week period. Now, what does that mean? Why should we care? Well, traditionally, Mercury has been the overseer, according to the astrological thinkers and feelers and deducers. Mercury has been the one that rules the realms of communication, as well as electronics and technology, gadgetry, travel, contracts. A lot of interplay as far as energy between people and with the objects they use to communicate. Now, have any of you noticed that perhaps over the last 3 weeks with some of your Christmas presents that you've had problems in some way or another? As I try to communicate with someone walking by me, you've had problems with electronic gadget like an iPhone or a computer or a fax machine or a printer or your car. If you have problems with travel, if you have problems with reservations being booked, have you had any contracts you signed long ago come to fruition and not in the best possible way, or legal outcomes affect you? People would say this all governs the realm of Mercury retrograde, when Mercury is away from us or against us. Now, to the eye rollers out there, I hear you. It's just a stupid planet. But at the same time, to say that a stupid planet has no effect on us is like saying, well, yeah, moon, tides, moods, or gravity. Who the fuck cares about gravity? I'm just gonna fly now. They do have an effect, subtle though it may be. And this isn't just, flaky gypsy Western astrologers saying this for the last several hundred years. We're talking like the Vedic astrologers of India for, several thousand years, or the Chinese astrologers. It's the same deal. They honestly believe that these celestial orbs can whirl and their interactions together somehow emanate out vibrationally to form an effect on our fortunes, good and or bad. I guess to tell the story, to bring it all full circle as to why I'm even talking about this in the first place and not just yammering on. This isn't meant to be an informative podcast this week. I was feeling good about the new year coming. I was feeling excited about the changes. Well, I woke up maybe 3 weeks ago or so, and I noticed something strange. You see, my cat, who some of you have seen in the other podcasts, my cat Quinn always snuggles with me in the morning. Always seems happy to. But on this particular morning, things were different. On this morning, I woke up and she was out in the living room, lying on the back of the couch in the main room. It was cold and it was dark in that room. I turned the furnace down at night. And she was splayed out, and she honestly looked like she had no interest in living whatsoever. And this really concerned me. She hadn't touched her food, she hadn't touched her water, and this continued on for over a week. Now I got her checked up, and I'm not sure if you can see me right now because of the sun, but you can hear me. I gave her a checkup, and no parasite problems, no kidney problems, no urinary tract problems, but the depression remained. And I'm like, are my moods affecting her? Because I was feeling a little bit down too, the holiday season and family and yada yada yada. But her mood didn't shift. and she was listless. She wouldn't touch her catnip. I was concerned, and so one night, maybe about 6 or 7 nights into this run of behavior, which was concerning me, I went out and slept on the couch beside her, trying to be a good daddy. And hey there, how are you? And so I went out trying to sleep on the couch beside her all night. Now I had a restless night, and I had a few dreams, and I don't normally have dreams like this, but they were pretty oppressive dreams. They were a little bit scary, a little bit sad. And I woke up, and I looked up at my cat, and she looked back at me, and it's like I could tell what she was thinking, and I was feeling it as well. And really it was like, what's the point? What's the point to it all anyway? Life. I didn't mean to do that for dramatic effect, but at the same time it was pretty intense. For a few hours that morning, I was honestly, subconsciously and consciously contemplating, the meaning of my existence, why should I exist, and what would be the easiest way to go. And man, I can't wait till these next 40 years are out so I can just punch my ticket off to the choir invisible, as the Pythons would say. And that continued on for several days, and things got pretty dark, and I felt really low, and I didn't want to turn to anybody. I wanted to deal with it myself, or just accept that the inevitable was going to happen. I was convinced that my body was riddled with cancer, or I had some other disease, or that my life was over, that something horrible was going to happen. But then, during a moment of clarity, of lucidity, I looked back on my life and realized that I'd gone through these phases quite often. I think we all wrestle with depression to some tiny degree, and to some of us more intensely so. Well, all I can say is that it really struck me then, these cycles that we go through, and whether they're planetary cycles or whether they're just life cycles, as I discussed before, you can't expect to be happy all the time. And all you need to know is that maybe some other people are going through the same thing, so you don't feel so isolated and alone in the process. And guess what? Over the last 3 weeks, as soon as I asked that question, or was curious whether anyone else was going through the same thing, everyone in my little community started to confide in me that, oh my God, I've just been feeling so down, or oh, an employee just came to me and said she wanted to commit suicide, or oh my goodness, I just can't see any hope left in my life whatsoever. And these are from generally upbeat people. So I guess what I'm saying is, maybe it can happen to everybody. All those happy faces you see on Facebook profile shots. Hey, we're having so much fun. We're drinking. Yeah, life's awesome. Maybe that's just the cycle when they're on the upside. You don't see them posting photos when they're, wanting to slit their wrists, or they're listening to the Indigo Girls, or, they're holding their head in despair over the horrors around the globe. No one's happy with news like Haiti. And to end this off, really, I guess I can just say that. No matter how dark it is, no matter how bad you're feeling, you're not alone in it. Someone else is going through it too. And maybe, just maybe, it's not your fault. It's not some absence of a quality in you, or some weakness in you, or some flaw in you. But it's just a cycle you have to go through, like the seasons. Spring, birth, and summer, life, and then fall, maturation, and winter, death. It's going to keep happening. And like Mercury swirling around the sun every 88 days, it's going to come back. And it's going to go away. And it's going to come back. So, have faith. The wheel keeps turning. Peace.